So, let me just you saw the ABC primetime, and let me introduce myself to you and tell you why I got involved and what happened when the first time I saw this. So, my name's Marty Nicholson, and like I told you, I grew up in Utah, moved to Vegas. I married my wife. I actually met my wife when we were going to high school. The day I started high school there, I saw her. I wanted to date her, but she wouldn't date me. I weighed less than she did. So I finished high school. I went to the Philippines for a couple years, came back, married my wife. She was a pre-med student, and then we decided to have 6 kids. She became a stay-at-home mom. But during the time we're having our kids, I finally graduated from college, and we decided that we'd buy a business. And we bought a landscaping company in Las Vegas. And we took our landscaping company, when we bought it, it had 40 employees. And in August of 2006, we went from 40 employees to 2 years later, we had 120. We were one of the top 10 landscaping companies in Vegas. We were super excited about what we were doing. Thought we had reached the pinnacle of the American dream. But little did we know that that was the beginning of what was going to start happening to this economy. And so at that same time we hit our pinnacle, my wife's little brother in July of 2008 was diagnosed with melanoma skin cancer. And from July of 2008 to July of 2009, it only took a year for that disease to take him. He was 32 years old with 4 kids. And during that year, my wife was super frustrated on what we didn't know about cancer. And she kept saying there's got to be something out there that we can do different. Well, fast forward a couple months after he dies, my father-in-law had retired from Vegas, moved to a small town in Utah called Parowan, and he decides that he's going to run for mayor in this little town. And he had an 85-year-old guy in his campaign that was running circles around everybody. And he walked up to this guy one day and says, I don't know what Kool-Aid you're drinking, but you dang well better start sharing it with the rest of the class, because we all want to know how you have this energy. And he says, well, you got to come meet my friends, because they got this product I'm taking. And so he did. He went went to this guy's house, and some people came in, and just like we're going to show you, they showed him, and he got excited because when he left that night, they left him with a copy of a study that was done by Louisiana State University on the product Protandim regarding melanoma skin cancer. A couple months later, he came to my wife and I and said, you guys need to see this. Now, you got to understand something about me. I think network marketing is a great business model. I always have liked network marketing, but I just haven't found one that worked for me, and I wasn't looking for one when he came to us. So I kind of shut him down that day, but my wife listened to what they had to say because they were talking about the things that were near and dear to them with skin cancer. She came home and spent 2 weeks. She watched that video. She spent 2 weeks in our office reading the research on this product. And she came to me and she says, Marty, Dad has no clue what he has his hands on. She says, this is bigger than I ever expected. But my wife has never been one from a network marketing standpoint to say, let's get involved in a business and go do this. She said, I'm calling everybody we know, and I want them to come and see this. And so she worked with her dad, and they put together a meeting. And a couple things happened that night. Number one, 30 people showed up into our house. And I'm like, man, I've done network marketing before. I've never got people to show up into my, what did you do, girl? And so people showed up into our house. And I said, you know what, honey, go sign up on this thing. Go be a distributor right now. So she did. She ran into the back and she became a distributor. And while she was doing that, the doorbell rang, and we answered the door, and there was a guy there, and he was the chief operating officer of the company. And we asked him why he came to our house that night, because here we are, not even distributors, and his name was Kirby Zanger, still with our company. He says that he was here because it was the first meeting to happen in Vegas, and he said he was there to support these guys. And that was very intriguing to me to know that, number one, my wife was going to be the first distributor in Vegas, and I was going to be the best coach she ever had and not do this business, and she was going to be first, right? So, and we had the support of people from the top. That really intrigued me. So they showed that ABC primetime video, and I was really impressed because I've never seen an ABC news piece, or a news piece period, on a network marketing company that was positive. And when I saw that piece, I said, there's probably something different to this. And so I'm going to go over with you guys what they did with me and what I understood. So to make this simple, I'm just going to kind of follow along here, and I'll write some things on the board so that you can see what I'm talking about. But before, obviously you have had a little bit of exposure, and so you understand what free radicals are, right? And oxidative stress. Okay, I'm going to write a number on the board, okay? And you can write this on your paper. Just you can write it anywhere in that blank spot. But I'm going to write a 3 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 zeros. Now, I know that looks like the national debt, but I promise you it's not yet. Give them a minute and they'll get there, right? And with some of the things we're hearing in the news, it's sooner rather than later. This is 300 sextillion. It's the number of free radicals that a healthy person produces on a daily basis. And you saw in that video that these free radicals are going in and they're damaging our cells, and they're causing this problem called oxidative stress. And have you heard of oxidative stress before?
Oh, yeah.
So oxidative stress, so we'll just abbreviate it for simplicity purposes. Oxidative stress equals disease. Okay? In fact, it's linked to over 200 diseases in the body. There's a website you can go to. It's called pubmed.gov. If you go to pubmed.gov, what this website is, it's the National Institute of Health's website. Do you understand what peer-reviewed research is? You do? Okay, peer-reviewed research, it's a gold standard of medicine. It's the research that your doctors should be looking at when they're looking at the latest and greatest and what's in scientific research. It's not your typical, simplistic research. It takes 3 to 5 years for one of these studies to be completed, and it costs about $3 to $5 million. If you go to pubmed.gov and you typed in that word oxidative stress, you're going to find over 100,000 studies just on this problem called oxidative stress. Okay, so when you go to pubmed.gov and you type in oxidative stress and you get this 100,000, plus the studies. I don't expect you to read 100,000 studies. It's not going to happen. The point behind it is that it shows that what the research community is doing is they're looking to this problem called oxidative stress as the center of the disease. Because if you typed if you're in there and you typed in oxidative stress, comma, and then a disease, any disease you can think of, heart disease, Crohn's, whatever it may be, multiple sclerosis, you'll find that you can read the abstracts and there's links that say that the center to these diseases that you're researching, the problem is oxidative stress. So what we've got to do is get to the center of the problem, right? Well, that ABC primetime aired, and you saw that John Quinones, after 2 weeks, had a 45% reduction in oxidative stress. At the top of your sheet here, it says, clinically proven to reduce oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. On the first human trial that you go to, when you go to pubmed.gov, and if you typed in the word Protandim, you're going to find 11 peer-reviewed studies. Now, I know on your sheet over here it shows 7, but we now have 11 peer-reviewed studies on the product Protandim. When you go in there, you can read the research, and you'll see that after 30 days, every single participant in that study had a reduction of their oxidative stress by 30%. And after 90 days, it was a 70% reduction. Here's the key. In 100% of the people, 100% of the time. Every single participant had a reduction of oxidative stress. Now, you've heard of antioxidants, right? Okay. It's a big marketing buzzword. Mm-hmm. Everything has an antioxidant in it. And what the problem is these antioxidants, we've been told this is how we're going to reduce that free radical damage. Well, I just showed you a huge number, right? So free radicals, if we're going to use antioxidants, you've got to consume 73 glasses of red wine a day, 375 oranges in order to eliminate just a few of these free radicals. 1 or 2, right? That's not going to work. They work on a 1-to-1 basis, and then they kill each other off. Okay? Protandim is not an antioxidant. What Protandim is, you see on the side of your sheet here, it's an NRF2 synergizer. Now I'm going to borrow this real quick. I'm going to just put this into simple layman's terms because it's got to be simple for me. NRF2. I don't expect you to understand what that is, but basically this is what Dr. McCord says. It says NRF2 is the master regulator of survival genes, is a protein messenger contained in every cell of your body, and NRF2 communicates with your DNA and instructs your genes to fight aging and oxidative stress. And when activated, it enters the nucleus and turns on those survival genes that we once had. So it's the master regulator in the body, and as that master regulator, it turns on your body's own enzymes so that they eliminate those free radicals at a rate of 1 million to 1 every second of every hour of every day. And that's why, at the end of that study, they could no longer tell the difference between a 20-year-old and an 80-year-old. So the key to that is that after 40 years, you saw in the video, Dr. McCord researched this, discovers that SOD in the body, and now he's able to go and take 5 herbs, put them together in a patented formula that will turn on your body's own defense mechanisms, and you reduce the free radical damage at a rate of 1 million to 1. And it works on every single human being. And that, because of that formula he got it in, you saw in the video, has 3 patents. We now have 4 patents on this product, which means that this is intellectual property. Meaning that because the way that this is protected, you will never, ever be able to go into Walmart and find Protandim. Okay? These are 25-year renewable patents. The only place you can get this is through LifeVantage. Well, what happened with when that video aired, we were a research and development company. And after that video aired, companies, not just companies, people just like you and I came out. We wanted the product. Universities, you saw the listed universities, they wanted to study the product. They knew this problem. They knew oxidative stress is a problem. They said, if we can really reduce oxidative stress by 70%, let's study it against our diseases. And so you had studies like Louisiana State University that now has 3 studies on PubMed.gov regarding melanoma skin cancer. You have the American Heart Association that published a study with Virginia Commonwealth. You have Ohio State that's done a study on stents and bypasses, and the list goes on. You can go there and see these studies for yourself and see what they are saying after using their own money and their own time to research this, and their words on what they say Protandim does for the body. So they're not just those universities. It's not done. We still have over 20 universities studying this product today, and you saw a list of those as they ran through there. This has been featured on the ABC show. It's been on the NBC. It's been on ABC Primetime, the Today Show, NBC Healing Quest, and it's also been featured in Dr. Sanjay Gupta's book, Chasing Life. It's a great. If you like to read, that's a great book to read. And he talks about Dr. McCord's science in his book. But here's what happened. When we were on the shelves of GNC following that ABC Primetime, we had some great success in the months following. But the problem was that nobody was out there telling our story. So this product sat on the shelf. And we kind of expected this product, because it was boxed in a pretty box, that it was going to sell itself. Well, after going through a couple different CEOs, we hired a guy by the name of David Brown to come in and kind of fix things for us. We wanted to find a way to get this product out to the masses, because we had shareholders that were hungry for their money to be returned, and a product that really worked. And by the way, we are publicly traded under the stock ticker LFVN. So you can go to Google Finance and type that in and see that. So what happened was David Brown came in and he takes a look at our packaging, and he said, we need to take this network marketing. And the reason we need to take it network marketing is because you can see it's not working on the shelves. We're not going anywhere. We were selling maybe $3.5 million in sales a year. That's about a quarter of a bottle a month per store. Right? I mean, that's just not effective. So what we did, he said, is if we go network marketing, we can go on a one-to-one basis. We can get into the homes of people and share with them exactly why they should be taking this product, and when they understand why, they'll take it and they'll buy it. Let me show you what happened. So on your sheet here, you see this gray bar. Okay, this is the S-curve of business. A guy by the name of Peter Drucker studied business for over 40 years. He developed this S-curve of business, and every company goes through this. It's just where they fall and how they shake out when they go through this. For us, on May 18th of 2009, we go from being a retail sales company on the shelves of GNC and whatnot, and other health food stores like that, to network marketing, and we have to go, and you see on your sheet it says pioneering and formulation. So I'm just going to write P and F here to be simple. During this period, right here, this is where 90% of businesses fail, right? It's that 4 to 5 year period that's very shaky for any company. Then you see the dot on your paper. On that sheet, that dot represents critical mass. And when a company is doing $50 million a year in sales, and they can sustain it for a period of time, they hit this thing called critical mass, which causes momentum, and it's also the branding phase of a company. This is where a company now becomes a household name. It's where a company picks up 80% of its base of customers, and it's in a network marketing company. You're going to pick up 80% of not just your customers, but 80% of your distributors are going to be picked up during that period. And then you go into that stabilization, which is going to grow at 2 to 7% a year, which is a good, healthy growth rate for a mature, stable company, right? Well, let's kind of understand something real quick. Is this just for traditional business to go through an S-curve? No. Companies that we're not supposed to talk about, there's a company that if you say their name, it's like saying a swear word in church. It's Amway. And you say that and people want to slap you. Everybody loves to hate this company. But this company that everybody loves to hate did $10 billion in sales last year, and this year did their first $1 billion month, right? They're going to be a $12 billion company. So as much as we love to hate them, guess what they're doing? They're growing and they're making sales. They went through this whole same process, proving that it works. And there's been other network marketing companies that have gone through it. There's several companies that are $1 billion a year companies. The problem is what I found is when I saw this that night for my first time, is I realized that I was always getting involved in those companies up here. When they've gone through their stabilization, they're already stable. They've got 80% of their customer base. Can I get to the top of that company? Yes, but guess what I got to do? Work 10 to 20 times harder than anybody that got in before me, because I got to go and talk to more people. The Direct Selling Association did a study, and they said that the first 135,000 to 150,000 distributors will earn 80% of the commissions. Okay, so let me run you through this timeline now with LifeVantage. We go network marketing, and in our first year, so before we were like I said, 3.5 million before network marketing. Our first year we did 11 million in sales. We proved David right by telling the story gets people buying this product. Second year of business, 38.9 million. Like I said, we're publicly traded, so I can only disclose to you the financial statements that we've released to the market. So we've released our statements through the end of our third quarter. We run on fiscal quarters from June to June. So from the end of the third quarter ending March of this year, we have done $81.6 million. We did $36 million in our third quarter alone. Almost as much as we did in an entire year last year. When we released these numbers to Wall Street, we told them that by the time we end our fiscal year for 2012 at the end of June, which is just in a few days, tomorrow, right? When we end, we'll be posting earnings of over 120 to 125 million dollars in 3 years. With 18 million people living in this small area, there's very few people out there talking about this just in LA. So we're looking for people that can see the vision of this and go out and share this with people and participate in that branding phase. Because when you look at where we stand on this scale of how many distributors we have less than 60,000 distributors that are roughly in the world, with approximately 20,000 of them being outside the United States, because we're in the United States, Mexico, Japan, and we just opened up Australia. So even a kid from Utah that probably took math more than he should knows that 60,000 is a lot less than 135 to 150,000. So I realized that we were first, and just as we were first then, you're first now. Because one thing you have to understand is when you get involved in a company, along the bottom here, there's a couple things that have to be there. You see that list, it starts with company timing. We have a company that's backed with great leadership. David Brown, Kirby Zenger, and the rest of our corporate officers that have set records in companies that they've worked for before. We have field leadership that is top-notch, that care about people, that are out there training and working with people to get them to the top of it. And because of timing, we're all working hard and fast right now to get as many people in front of this, because this is the time. There's never been a better time to get in a company than when you can be first, right? And trends. Okay, we talked about antioxidants. They're in everything out there. It's the biggest marketing buzzword that you can think of. And when you look at just the antioxidant market, the other day my wife and I, we took, we had our oldest daughter, we're in Sam's Club, and we went to the restroom, and can't make you ladies spend so much time in the restroom, so I'm standing outside waiting for them to come out, and there's the hand sanitizer section right outside the restroom. And there was, on this hand sanitizer was a 4-pack, and there was different scents that you can buy. And the one was like, I think it was pomegranate. And so under pomegranate it said antioxidant. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. It's a hand sanitizer. Is it real? Am I really going to absorb antioxidants through the hand sanitizer into my skin? That makes no sense, right? They're putting it in everything, because they know if they put antioxidants on it, it's a $35 billion a year industry. It'll sell. Well, because of what we know about antioxidants and what we're not, Protandim is better than any antioxidant you can get. And because of what we know from Louisiana State University and what regarding skin cancer, we've worked with a top dermatologist and Dr. McCord, and we've developed a skin cream that is Protandim, that this works from the outside in. So now we have the inside out approach and the outside in approach to reducing that free radical damage, and it works on every single person. I want you to try this. This is a product that I didn't think that I would be using when we first got involved. My wife studied this for 2 weeks, right? She came out and she told me, you are going to be taking this product. And I've learned not to argue with my wife. So I knew I was taking it. She became a distributor, finds out about this, and she says, you're going to be using this product. And I said, no, I'm not. I said, draw the line, guys don't use skin cream. She says, yes, you do. So I started using skin cream. And I started using this, and I've fallen in love with it. It'll do everything but grow hair. But I don't wear a lot of sunscreen because I don't like this stuff on my face. It gets on my sunglasses. This has been great for protecting me against what I've been, exposing myself to the sun and the way it makes my skin feel, and from what I've seen in other people as they use this. And when people get on these products, they don't stop using them. So we have, by the way, when you add in that skin cream, that takes this business to over $1 trillion a year industry. Because anti-aging skin creams, they're everywhere, right? Oil-Olay's been lying to us for years. So, probably shouldn't have said that on camera. Huh? But then you got to look at the other trend that we meet. How many people do you know out there that have more month at the end of the money? Right? At the end of the month, they're just waiting for the first to come around so they can get enough money to get them going again. And at the end of the next month, they're in that same rut. Or they could just use an extra $300 a month. Or they want to start their own business. Or they were like my wife and I 2 years ago, when we realized that we had a landscaping company that was owed a lot of money, and it was time for us to get ready to make our payroll September 1st, but our customers didn't feel it was necessary to pay us on time. And so for the first time in our career, we missed our payroll by 2 days because we couldn't get the money out of our customers and we couldn't get a loan from the bank. Right? People want to start businesses, but they can't get the money to do so, and we offer them the opportunity with this company to get involved just on a part-time basis to start to earn an extra income, and then eventually, like us, if they want to, they can replace that income, and they can get to where this is all they do, because we have products that are backed by science. And now I'm going to kind of go over compensation now and system, and explain to you why those are so important in a company now. So if you flip your sheet over onto the back, and you see up here in the top, it has a gray bar and it says Fast Start Bonuses, ends right there. If you just write the letters PC in that gray bar, what that stands for is preferred customer. When people see our presentation, and especially after they see the ABC Primetime, they're saying, I at least want to get on that product and I want to get on it now. And what we've done is that we've said, if you're willing to go on an auto ship will allow you to buy that product at the same rate as a distributor without becoming a distributor. So there's no upfront cost, and you can get the product for $40 a bottle for Protandim plus taxes and shipping. Then you add in that skin cream, and it's $70 a bottle plus taxes and shipping. And so for the system of the inside-out, outside-in approach to reducing that free radical damage, it's $110 a month for one person. When I saw that, that was impressive to me because I knew that was a price point that people could afford for even both of those products. What I didn't realize is that these guys were going to make up 75% of our business. See, in network marketing, what happens is 98% of the product is bought by distributors just trying to buy enough product to get paid. In our company, 75% of our base are people that are not distributors. They're not going out and they're not getting paid to talk about Protandim, even though they do, because they get on it and they talk about it and they share it with their friends and family. They just love the product. We've turned that tide to where we have a solid base every month of people buying it with a reorder rate of about 85% retention. That's an unbelievable rate. I didn't have an 85% retention in my maintenance business for landscaping. I would have loved that, right? I wouldn't be out of business. I wouldn't have been losing business month after month over the last couple of years with the economy because 85% would have stayed, right? That was impressive to me. But here's what I saw. That if we got involved on that Vantage Pack, which I just told my wife to get involved, I didn't know that this is what was going to happen, but it's $630 to get involved as a distributor. It's a one-time investment plus taxes and shipping, and we're going to give you $535 in product. There's a couple different combinations that you can get, but the most popular one is you get 1 bottle of True Science and 12 bottles of Protandim. I knew for a fact that we were going to be using that product that night. My wife had already made that clear that we were using it. So $535, like, okay, so that's the product that we're going to be using. So I figured that my risk that night for me getting involved was $95. But that risk was broken down into tools that they gave back to us. Sheets like we're using right now to share this. They give DVDs in a kit. We were just going over April's box before you guys came, and that we had. They give you a website that's completely replicated and kept up to date with all the latest and greatest of videos and science behind the product, so that you can keep yourself and your customers educated. A back office to keep track of all the business as you're doing your business. And there's no maintenance fee for that website, right? So those tools were given back. So it's really, I said, really, there is no risk to getting involved because those tools were important. Now we'd have a requirement in order to maximize all of the bonuses that we have in our bonus plan that I'm going to go over, and I'm not going to go over all of them. I'll show you a few ways to get paid. That you have to do $200 a month in personal volume. In the past in network marketing, what that meant is that you personally would have to buy $200 a month in product whether you needed it or not. The way that our system is set up is that, let's just use this over here. If you find 2 people that want to be customers and use this system, those 2 people would add up to 220, right? Well, that's more than 200. So at that point, you would only be required to buy 1 bottle of Protandim a month in order to get all the commissions. So you take your overhead down to $40 a month, and you still get all the bonuses that I'm going to show you right now. So when you get people involved on that preferred customer, you get 30% of whatever they buy in the first month. So in that example right there of 110, you would have made $33. And then it becomes residual income every month thereafter. But what happens is you get involved on a Vantage Pack, and you see over here shows these 3 guys, right? Shows you and then a breakdown of 3. When you get involved on a Vantage Pack and you go find 1, 2, 3, 4, your first 3 people that you get involved on a Vantage Pack, we're going to pay you $210 for those first 3. There is a return of your investment right there. So I said I knew I was using the product. That wasn't coming back to me. All we had to do is find 3 people to get involved with this as distributors, and I get my money back. And then the company is going to increase that bonus to $260 for every person that signs up on a Vantage Pack forever. And you can sign up as many people as you'd like. But the key to that is that that's a one-time thing. You're right. You sign them up, you get $210 the next week. We pay that the following week. So you're not waiting for your money either. But what happens is these people get involved as distributors, and they're doing that $200 a month in personal volume. So you can follow along with this right here on the royalty commission. This is why network marketing becomes such a viable and great business, because once you build it once and build it right, you get paid for the rest of your life with work you've already done. So these 5 go and do $200 a month in personal volume. That equals $1,000 a month, and we pay 2%, and that equals $20 a month every month that they do that. And that's assuming they do no more or no less. But what we teach people is how to duplicate themselves. So we say, go find 5 people that want to do what you're doing, and then we'll help those 5 go get their first 5 doing $200 a month, which equals $5,000 a month times 5% now on that second level. That equals $250 a month plus the 20. And that comes in every single month. So now you can show somebody how to make $300 extra a month, which probably shortens the gap between month and money at the end of the month, right? We can show people on a part-time basis how they can pay their car payment and their mortgage payment for the rest of their life. That's why I like network marketing. And I also realized that if I could just go one level further, we pay 9, I'm not going to go over all 9. If I just go one level further, that's $125,000 a month. Now we pay 5% again. That equals $6,250 a month. That's $100,000 a year residual income. I knew that all I had to do was work hard for a little while and duplicate myself and help them duplicate themselves and just teach people how to follow a system, which I'll break down, and I could earn over $100,000 a year consistently for the rest of my life. That's why I like network marketing. Now we have a couple other bonuses. There's bonuses that let you match what they make by either 10% or 5%. I'm not going to completely go over that, but basically as you help them earn money, we'll match you whatever they make, okay, by either 10% or 5%. But when you get to a certain level in our company, we're going to take 4% of gross global sales, and you can see that down at the bottom here, this 4% deal. And we split it up into a couple different quadrants. And if our ranks are Pro 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. When you get to be a Pro 7, 8, 9, and 10 in our company, you're the elite ranks of the company. We take 4% of gross global sales and we put it into a bonus pool. And at the end of every month, all of these 7, 8s, 9s, and 10s split that up. So all the 7s through 10s will take a share of that bonus. All the 8s through 10s get a second share there. The 9s and 10s pick up a third share, and the 10s take one full share there. So roughly, if we're doing $10 million a month, that's $4 million going into that bonus pool with $1 million in each one of those categories. Right now there's right around 100 people sharing in that bonus pool total, with less than 10 people sharing out of that last one. Less than 10 people sharing about $1 million. The point is that never before had I seen a network marketing company where I could be these guys. My wife and I just recently hit the level of Pro 6. That's our next advancement in this company, puts us to where we're participating in that bonus pool. And that excites us, because at that point, it doesn't matter whether we brought them in the business or not, we get a part of whatever they do, wherever they live in the world. As this thing expands through other countries, we'll get to participate, and we'll get a percentage of whatever they do. We would never maybe even have met them, but we get a percentage of that. That's what network marketing does. That's why this is such a viable business. But the reason why people are growing with our company, not just because of timing. Timing has a lot to do with why people are growing so fast in our company. But the other thing is because of our system. You can have a great compensation plan and everything, and a great product, and have timing. But if you don't have a system that can take somebody that was just some little kid from central Utah that decided to be a landscaper and teach them how to become a top leader in this company, who cares? You got to be able to take somebody that's never been involved in network marketing and teach them exactly what they have to do to get the top. And our system is this: 1, show that DVD, that ABC Primetime, to 15 people a month. Every month, just expose that to 15 people at least every month consistently, and get them in front of the message. Number 2 is what we call Premier School. Every month the company takes a Pro 6 or higher and flies them into a local market, and they hold a Premier School on the third Saturday of every month. And for 4 hours, that person's job is to simply teach you how to get to Pro 6. And then we have what we call an Elite Academy. And that we do 3 times a year, quarterly. And that's where all the 7s, 8s, and 9s will spend a day and a half with Dr. McCord. The first day, Dr. McCord and all the corporate offices, Dr. McCord will teach you all the latest and greatest that's going on behind the science in the products, so that you're kept up to date. You'll hear from the corporate officers and what's going on behind the scenes in the company, what they're doing to help you keep your business going. And then the next day is training by 7, 8s, and 9s, and a few 10s that teach you exactly how they got to where they are, so that when you leave, you know what to do. And then we have, every year we have our convention. And during that time we have 3 days of breakout workshops where mostly the 9s and 10s break up into these smaller workshops, and they teach you exactly what you should do to run your business. And I don't know if you've ever been involved in network marketing before, but what happens is that they have these conventions and they bring in these super people that are like Anthony Robbins, right? These great motivational speakers, and you leave a motivated idiot because you're extremely excited, but you don't know what to do when you leave. Not us. When you leave, we want you to know what to do. There's no secrets held back. We're going to teach you exactly what we've done to get to where we are, so that you can join us. And then the fifth part of this is just be teachable or coachable. Just be willing to do what somebody that's already been successful has done. A guy by the name of Eric Albertson came to my wife in November of 2010. We've been in a few months, and he started working with us, and all he said is, here's what we do next. And when he told me what we were supposed to do next, I didn't question him. I did exactly what he told me to do, step by step, because I knew if I ever found somebody that was willing to teach me to get to where he was, and that they were successful, that I was going to do that. And when he came in and he started teaching me, both my wife and I said we do exactly what he said, nothing more, nothing less. We're not going to try and reinvent the wheel. And as a result, we've been able to grow a business that's allowed us to have true freedom in our life. So at this point, you're just going to fall in one of 3 areas. Number 1, you're going to need more information. You sat here tonight or today and you saw this and you want some more information. And before you leave, we can give you some more information that'll help you, and we'll set a time that we can get back with you. Or you're a number 2. You saw the product, you said, I at least want that in my body. And if that's the case, let us help you get started on that before you leave. Or you're a number 3. You're ready to get started on that Vantage Pack and be a distributor because you sat here and you thought of somebody that may have needed this product, somebody that may need an extra couple $100 a month. You thought of other people while you sat there. And that's what happened with us. We realized that that's why we fall in that distributorship, because we see that this is a viable opportunity for people to feel better, both from the health and from making their wallet feel better, right? Because their bank account is extremely sick right now. There's a lot of sick accounts, bank accounts. And we just said if we can just help shore those 2 things up, health and bank account, then we can make a difference in people's lives. So I hope that you enjoyed what you saw, and I'll be around to answer any question you have.